Okay, so a big part of what we are going to be doing is creating posts and articles for LinkedIn to attract potential clients, which means we have to know how to do that. So I wanted to, for this video, focus on where you get images for the articles you're going to be writing. Now, to give you a little bit of context here, I'm just going to go into my profile and click on an article I published recently. So as you can see, I've got a little cover image here that I made. And then throughout the content, there's also a few pictures with captions to break up the text. It's another one. Third one, you can see my little watermark on these. And that's about it. Now, the caveat I want to start with here is that for your real clients, this will never be part of your work. It is not normal to expect you to source images, to provide them, anything like that. So this is really just to make your LinkedIn articles and your blog, if you ever want to do that, look pretty. It breaks up the text. Research shows that it keeps people on the page for longer. Just makes you look more professional all the way around. But how do we make these? The way that I do it is with Canva. Canva is great. You can have a free account. I have a paid one because I ironically do make quite a few graphics for my clients. But for the purposes of this, we're just going to be focusing on images for your articles. So once you make a free account, you get logged in and everything. You'll want to go just to the homepage, canva.com. And for me, at the time that I'm recording this video, creating a design is over here on the left. They do make changes. It may not be there at the time that you are watching this. And then in this box, you're just going to type blog. What we want is a blog graphic. So you're going to grab that. Oh, this is already not quite what I wanted. I wanted it to be landscape because that's, if you come back over here, that's what we're doing. We're not doing these tall images. So on the fly here, we are just going to resize this. Right now it is 800 by 1200. We are just going to flip that. It's even got a little button. Copy and resize. I'm just going to take this one. This is what we originally wanted. Normally you'll just, click create a design and you'll type those dimensions in properly so you don't get this backwards thing that I got. Then you'll come in to elements and you'll get a search bar here. You'll want to type in, say, around 4 words of the image that you want. So you can also do less. Let's see what we get with 1. I was doing my mindset coach article, so let's look at that. Mindset. Click on photos because that's all we're really here for is photos. And here you go. Now I will say anything with this little crown in the corner is for pro users. That means you do have to pay. Anything without the crown is totally free for you to use. So you can just click it, click and drag it a bit. And I really, it's super basic. I'm not editing this or doing anything else. Now, the other thing you need to know is that Canva will not let you export an image that is just a picture. You have to add something to it. Some kind of copyright law. I don't know the details. I just know I have to do it. So I come in to text, add a text box. I just do my website typically because I have one. If you don't have one, you can do your LinkedIn username. You can do kind of the name of your business. Mine is just Shelby Dennis, copywriter. But if you've got a specific tagline or name that you're going by, you can do that as well. And again, we do want this to look at least, somewhat professional. So take a couple seconds to make sure people can actually see it. I usually put a drop shadow on. You can do that in this effects section here. I don't mess with any of this. That's fine, just the way it is. And then over here back on top, we'll change the color to, let's say, white. Yep, that's super legible. I'm going to bring this down here. Looks great. And then you come to share and you click download. PNG is great. LinkedIn will take a PNG file. It tends to be high quality, so I like to stick with that. Nothing else to do here. And then just download it. Typically, that'll go to your downloads folder. If you do happen to lose it and you're like, oh gosh, where did that go? You can come up to this little arrow up here. If you're not using Chrome, I believe Firefox and other browsers have a similar button here, and you just click this and you can grab whatever you downloaded, whatever you need that way. So it's really as simple as that. You can get fancier with Canva and you can title this in here. So like let's say mindset coach article image 3, you know. And then Canva also offers you folders and things. If you would like to organize things, you can move to a folder, you can create that and do that any way that you like. But you can also just leave it all floating, in your own stuff. However you want to organize it that works for you is fine. And that is it. That's what I do to create images here. If you wanted to get really fancy with your cover image, I can walk you through that real quick too, because you can see I've got a little box here. Using this same image, you just come into elements and then I believe rectangle. Yeah, so I typed the start of the word rectangle. It asked me if I want a rectangle. It's exactly what I want. And now, again, if this were the cover image, we'd probably pick something different because otherwise the word mindset gets covered. But just to kind of drive this exercise home, we'll change the color of this box to something. And then there's a bunch of other tools you can do too. Canva has great tutorials. I'm not going to, try to do better than they do, but a couple other little tricks. Position, I want this box to be centered in the image. And then to get real fancy, I'm going to make it just a little bit see-through. Yeah, perfect. Okay, we'll come back into text. We'll add a text box. We'll say 5 reasons to hire a mindset coach. Again, just because that's the example that I'm using, you would pick whatever article you want and title it appropriately. I'm just going to take a random guess as to what would be a good size. That's way too big. That looks a little bit better. And same thing here. You can add effects. You can make it bold, change the font and the color. I'm going to bring it back over here to the center. I'm also going to align it in the middle of the box. And that's that. You still finish it just the same way. Share, download. PNG is what we want. And then you just download it. And that's how you make it. It'll go again to wherever you have your downloads set to go. You can customize that in your browser settings. And that is how I do that. One last thing you can look at is Pixabay is a really great stock image website. If you don't want to make a Canva account and have to deal with all of that and you just want to work with images, you can come in here and do this as well. It requires a free account. And if I remember correctly, there are also certain rules you have to follow. Like, I believe you have to credit whoever uploaded the photo, but when you make your account, it'll give you a little bit of info about what you need to include. Typically, that's really, really simple. Like, let me see if I can find here. Go back to my articles. Experience. There we go. I believe it was this one. Yeah, this one. So this was a stock image I grabbed from a website and I just credited them because that was their policy at the time that I used it. So lots of routes to go with this. I would recommend starting with Canva or Pixabay, see which one you like better. And that's all it takes to get high quality images into your articles and making them look much more polished.